So I haven't really given much updates in this past little few weeks. I've just been fishing. Just been busy fishing and trying to figure out my own stuff and how to live in the car and all these little details and getting a routine and all the little stuff that comes along with van life. A few weeks ago, I was at Osprey Lake and I was catching 13-inch fishes. I was catching them all day long, all day. I might even go back up there one day, but probably not, because I do want to explore some new stuff in new areas. So I'm probably gonna pack up here, drop off the boat, and leave the boat at home because next week it's supposed to snow. After I was at Osprey, I came home. I enjoyed a little bit of break, had a birthday party with my granny, had a little ice cream cake and had dinner and whatnot, packed up some more firewood and shipped off and went to Island Lake. Island Lake is off of Okanagan Connector, 4,850 feet above sea level. It's very high up in the mountains. My car was struggling to get up the hill. It was literally doing 90 in some spots. The gas pedal was floored to the floor. It barely made it up. Well, it would have been fine, but it wouldn't have been able to do the speed limit. No way. It like was just blah, 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 all the way up the hills. She made it. She's a little trooper. I love this little car. It's great on gas. Oh, well, except for climbing up that huge hill from Peachland to the Elkhart gas station. That huge hill there took a big toll on the gas mileage, that's for sure. It definitely cost me a few more dollars to just truck it up that hill, but it was worth it. So much big fish up there, like huge 20-inch fish up there, monsters reported up to 10 pounds, but I didn't see any 10-pound fish up there. I did catch a 20-inch fish and brought it home for Thanksgiving. It was awesome. Cooked it up and had it, and it pretty much tasted like chicken almost. It was so orange and interesting to taste that meat. It was pretty good. That was up at Island Lake. It was 51 centimeters. It was to the regulations, over 50 centimeters, one fish per day. Did catch a 47 centimeter fish the same day, but I gave it back. That being said, I was skunked the first 2 days and then caught those two fish on the third day. And then I was skunked the next 2 days. Finally had some bites and some good battles with some big fish. But unfortunately, I could not catch my second fish to bring home. Oh well, life story. Life sucks. No, just kidding. That was awesome. I love going to that lake. I want to go back up there next year after the snow falls. Or the snow melts and the ice off and whatever you call it. Apparently the fish are big when it happens, so we'll go back up there when that happens and we'll record that. Whether it's for like a long time or whether I stay up there for a week or whether I bring the kayak up there, I definitely want to bring the kayak up there. I think that would be great. I would like to get an anchor system mounted on the kayak, which should be in the mail. So if it is, I'm gonna quickly put that on the kayak so that I can adjust where the anchor is, because you want it in the back where the stern is, because then when you're fly fishing out the front of the boat and not to the sides or to the back, because that would be pretty difficult when you're sitting in a kayak facing the front and you're trying to cast out the side. You might be able to do a little bit of direction just to get it into the specific spot that you want to, but having an anchor system that you can get into a spot where you can put the casting of the fly rod or the bobber or whatever you're doing in the specific spot is very important. Trust me, very important to have a good anchor system on your vehicle, on your boat, on your kayak, boat, whatever you can call it, whatever. Okay, so that being said, fishing's awesome at Island. I'm back at Sugar Lake. It's smoky, very, very smoky, insanely smoky out here. I was almost tempted to just pack up and go to another location like Maple Lake or something, but stuck it out, mostly because I wanted to catch a big bull trout. That's why I came back here. I wanted to spend a good 5 or 6 days just to see if I can catch a big bull trout. And I've put so many hours into this lake, and I've spent a couple dollars in gas just charging up those boat batteries just so I could go troll I still haven't found any of the big fishes yet. I haven't even found one of those 13 or 14 inch rainbows like I did catch on the other side of the lake. So that's interesting that there's smaller rainbows on this side of the lake. The ones that I've caught are 11 and 12 inches. They're good sized fish, pan fries, but they're not the fish that I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for like at least the 14s, the 15s, the 16s. Anything higher than that would be amazing. I'm up here trying to catch a bull trout, and I have not been able to catch a bull trout. I made a couple videos. Well, I made a video on the Renogy review, so if you haven't seen that, you can check that out. That's on my YouTube channel. There was ice up at Island Lake. There was like a little 1/4 inch almost of ice on my kitchen bowl where I washed my dishes. That was quite interesting. Cold. I had to wear my winter jacket right up until about, say, 10 a.m. in the morning, and finally could take that off, put the life jacket back on. But holy crap, was it cold up there. Coming down to Sugar Lake, it's dropped, I don't know, I think it's about 10 degrees warmer up here at night when it's like right in that cold specific spot, because up at Island Lake, right around about 3 to 4 a.m., it got cold, like to the point where I had to put my long johns on if I was sleeping in my underwear, or keep my long johns on, because sometimes I'd wake up at like 1 or 2 a.m. at night and I would just be too hot. Like, I'd have to pull one of my window covers on just to let a cool breeze in, because I do leave my windows open to crack because I don't want to suffocate myself in the car. I end up having to wear some long johns. I come down here to Sugar Lake and it's like +7, +8 in the morning still. It's beautiful in the morning. I can go out, take a pee in my long johns and my boots, go pee in the bush, go back to bed. It's still nice and warm. I didn't really need the sleeping bag, but I do still have it on, and it's still tucked in. The reason I have it tucked in is it keeps the heat in the van. Wow, the van. In the car, because I don't know, it like conforms to like a burrito. What I noticed is if you've got a section of your blanket open and hanging over off the side of the bed or whatever, and you've got a little breeze coming in, it gets cold, man. So you've got to like pull in your blankets and tuck yourself in like a burrito, which is pretty easy in the car, which isn't a big deal. The heating pad helps a lot. So right at like 9:30, 10:30, or whatever time I'm going to bed, I'll just go plug it in, leave it running for like 5-10 minutes, medium setting, heats the bed up, perfect. I can go to bed, take my sweater off. I just wear usually this shirt, a muscle shirt, and my underwear, and I can go to bed. Nice and cozy, nice and warm. 2 big blankets and a nice sleeping bag. I can sleep on my tummy, no socks, nothing. And then I wake up in the morning, and what I'll do is I'll pull all my clothes inside the blankets. I'll warm them up, put them on, or I'll put them on cold and then stay under the blankets and then warm up the clothes before I get out of the blankets. Because, I mean, you've already warmed up those blankets all night. Why waste all that heat? Might as well soak up some of that heat in your cold clothes before you hop out of the bed. I'll put on my shirt. It's just like putting on clothes in a small little tent, you know, one of those like 20 and 24 inch 3-foot tents or whatever, those tiny tents that you'd take up to like high mountaintop rooftops like Mount Everest or whatever, where you just want a little space you can stay warm under where it's cold and windy, because you don't want, you know, 7-foot tents up there, because it'll just be so hard to keep pinned to the ground and not flying away when the big breeze is happening. You put your clothes on under the blankets, you stay warm, you stay toasty warm, and the freezer does give it off a little bit of heat that it keeps inside the car, probably like 5 degrees warmer than it is outside. So I've noticed like even my ears are still staying warm inside the car. If it gets a little too warm, I'll just pop one of my window covers off. It lets a nice breeze in, and then I'll just pop it back on, or I'll leave it off. And when it gets cold, I'll pop it back on. If it gets even really cold, I'll even turn the heating pad back on, but I have never had to turn it on yet. That being said, it's supposed to get cold on Friday. It's supposed to actually hit -2 and start raining. And then Saturday is supposed to start snowing, so it might be time to start packing the boat away. Grab the kayak, put it on the roof of the car. Oh, and my bike tire's flat, so I want to fix that up. And now that I've lived in my car for over a month, there's one downside that I've had to keep an eye on since I've had to do this, is I don't have a space to put my toilet to go to the bathroom. So if I'm parked at Walmart, I'm going to have to rely on a fence post, a tree post, or whatever to go pee on in the middle of the night. So that's a kind of a downside to living in a car. Whereas if I had a van, which would be amazing, I could just pop the bucket in between the passenger, the driver's seat, or in the back, and just pop and take a squat, right? Do a number 2. Chrome does on van life. He just has these big, massive water bottles, and he just fills them up with pee, and he empties them wherever he wants to, gets a chance to. And so I don't have that option. I don't have a space to go pee. Like, I could probably go pee laying down and like doing a little kickstand kind of situation into a bottle. But like, honestly, I there's no place to poop. If I parked in the Walmart, I'd have to like pop up a tent or something just to go poop in a bucket. So I might as well just go into the Walmart, go poop in their toilet. So that's one thing I've got to keep an eye on, is where can I use a bathroom? Where is it safe to use a bathroom? A lot of the pullouts in BC do have rest stops and stuff like that where you can go to the bathroom. So that's kind of a bonus. So if it's after 9:30 p.m., I'm legally allowed to stop and park at any rest stops and stuff like that and sleep in my car, as long as I'm not, starting a fire, pulling on a bunch of gear and setting up a campsite in the middle of a rest stop. Those things are kind of frowned upon. So that's one thing I've had to be aware of, is where can I go potty. The last thing I'm going to talk about is mouse problems. I didn't even think about it. When you do go camping, you do think about rodents and mice and stuff like that. So you bring, big totes and you fill them full of your food and whatever, so the mice can't crawl inside and eat your food, whatever. And I didn't think about it, but they can get in the car. So now I've got a bag of crackers that the mouse got into, started chewing on. And they also started chewing on my toilet paper. They did find one of my cookies, and they tried to eat on one of those. So I had to go through the car and take all the food out, put all my food into my big black bin, which is in the trailer that I had my propane barbecue in, which I've never had to use. Actually, that I lied. I had to use it once when I thought this was broken, but apparently there's a little reset switch inside that I just had to press. I was able to fix it. Now it runs perfectly fine. I never had issues since. I gotta get mouse traps, put mouse traps in the car, so when I do have problems with mice again, I can just catch them and dispose of them, because they are a nuisance. I don't want mouses in my house pooping on my cooler and stuff like that. It's so gross. So that's one thing I've had to deal with, is dealing with mice, keeping them out of my food, including my bed snacks, because I keep a little bag of dried mangoes and stuff beside the bed. So I've had to come up with a few ways to keep that secured and away from the mouses, and I'm probably going to go check it here soon to make sure they haven't gotten into that, because it's the only food in the car that's wrapped in plastic that they can chew through and get at. I wonder if they like mangoes. Probably not as much as those crackers. Oh yeah, and then they started chewing on my peanut butter container. The lid has a bunch of peanut oils, all over it. So they're just like, I want peanuts. Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, keep following. You have more van life issues and car life issues and whatever else going on. And we'll bring you along with me and my issues and my troubles. It's like life with Spike. Thanks for watching.